Game starts after next click. So now that we've gotten movement down and notations, we can actually move on into the meat of the game, okay? Which are attacks. Now, these attacks are where your movements will shine. Because, well, if you don't, the first thing is, if you don't move, your attacks won't land. Simple as that. Now, there are 4 attack buttons. They are Light Punch, which is A, Light Kick, which is B, Heavy Punch, which is C, and Heavy Kick, which is D. If you just started out, Light Punch is going to be your best friend. More specifically, it'll be close Light Punch. Why? Because mashing Light Punch when you're really close gives you a combo. Mashing it any further and your auto combo doesn't appear. So here, I'm already using the dash. See? So a dash is a great way to go in, right? Now, I'm gonna cover how you can use attacks in 2 kinda main ways. The first thing I'm gonna cover, which is generally the easier option, is how to use them offensively. So against an opponent who's playing defensive. Okay, so if you remember, to guard in this game, you have to hold back or down back. Now in KoF, there are 4 kinds of attacks. So the first attack is a standing attack. And as you can see, standing attacks will be blocked by a standing guard. And just so you know, standing attacks are pretty much any attacks you do from standing, which hence the name. Now there may be times where standing attacks are called high attacks. They both function the same. They both refer to the same thing. Now standing guards are vulnerable to low attacks. So as you can see, as long as Mai is doing a standing guard, which she is doing right now, she will be hit by a low attack. And to get you started, here is one basic low attack combo. Okay, so that just there was a crouch B into rush combo or auto combo. Okay, so auto combo is just mashing A when you're really close. To take advantage of the standing guard opening, all you have to do is put a crouch B before it. So it doesn't matter whether it's down back or down forward, as long as you're pretty close, because auto combo only comes out when you're really close. Your auto combo will come out. Yeah. Now if you don't know what your character's low attack is, because in Sylvie's case her close B is a low attack. Now not all characters close B will do that. So if you don't know what your character's low attacks are, generally it's going to be crouching B or crouching D. Crouching A and crouching C are still classified as standing attacks. Okay, so as you may have figured, to block a low attack, all you have to do is do a crouching guard. Bam! Now, crouching guards also guard against standing attacks. Like so. So as long as Mai is doing a crouching guard, I'm gonna have a pretty hard time trying to open her up. However, like the standing guard, they are not invincible, alright? There are weaknesses. They are susceptible to overhead attacks. And overhead attacks are pretty much gonna be most of your jumping normals. You know, they're going to be all of your jumping normals. Okay, so you're jumping A, you're jumping B, you're jumping C, or you're jumping D. Now, obviously, as you can see, in Sylvie's case, her jumping B is a much better tool than her jumping A. In fact, her jumping A, I can't exactly hit Mai when she's doing a crouch guard. Her jumping C is alright, but generally, when you're doing an overhead attack, you want something that hits down forward, because that's where your opponent is. And as you can already see, you'd want to do a hop instead of a jump. Because why? Because hops are they're not that high. They don't jump that high, which means you can commit your offense much more quickly and do whatever combo you need. Yep. So like the crouching
crouching combo, kinda. You can easily get a combo out by doing an over attack, and once you're close, you do a rush combo, like so. So it doesn't matter which. Now to block a overhead attack, you have to do a standing guard. So already we are seeing this kind of mind game situation, and this is one of the biggest reasons why you may feel intimidated by any sort of fighting game. Honestly, it doesn't matter whether it's King of Fighters, Tekken, Street Fighter, Blaze Blue, Under Night, In Birth, Multi Blood, whatever. Okay, these mix-ups are probably going to be one of the biggest reasons why you go like, nah. Why you go like, why am I getting hit? Why is he doing all these combos? This is why you are blocking, and he is just being on the offense, going, okay, what kind of guard will you do next? We do a standing guard, in which case I'll do a crouching attack and do my combo, or if you do a crouching guard, I'll do an overhead attack and do my combo, stuff like that. Now you can do the same. Okay, now if your opponent is on defense, or if you want to open your opponent up, you can go like, okay, I'm going to jump in and attack, or I'm going to dash in and just attack, or dash in and do a low attack and trick them and whatever. Now, I haven't exactly explained the fourth type of attack. So the fourth type of attack is rather special. It is called a throw. Now, let me just affirm here. So all these attacks right now, I have my doing guard all. So it doesn't matter whether I'm doing an overhead attack, a standing attack, or low attack. My will guard it. Now this fourth type of attack, a throw, is you can't guard it. Okay. Now all characters can do a generic throw. So it doesn't matter which character you're using. Kyo, Hiyori, King of Dinosaurs, Sylvie, Mai. They all have a generic throw that can be done. Now to do a generic throw, all you have to do is one, be really needy to the opponent, like kind of like kissing close, like that's how close you have to be. Okay, you can't even be as like a step away. Okay, so a step away, it can give you your close attacks, all right, but a step away will not enable you to perform a throw. You have to be really close. Okay, now you have to be really close, and then you press either forward or backwards, C or D, not both. Okay, so this is forward C, really close. This back C, this forward D, and this back D. Oops, there we go. Now as you can see, the only difference between the two throws, the C and D throws, is that C would generally leave the opponent on the side they were, and D would switch sides. So if you are in the corner and you go like, oh no, and you want to get out, and it's like, oh, I'm in big trouble. Okay, D throw is your answer. Okay, it's a great way to go. Okay, now you're in the corner, and I can do whatever I want. Bam. Now because throws go through guards, there is a way to counter them, and that is called a throw break. So as its name suggests, to do a throw break, you kind of have to be caught in the throw first before you can break it. Now to do a throw break, and only generic throws can be broken, just as a heads up, you pretty much just have to do a throw when you're being thrown. So that's either forward or back, plus C or D. In fact, you can kind of cheat the system and do both. So let me just show you what I mean. Alright, so now Mai would do a throw, like so. Yeah. And as long as I'm guarding, doing any sort of guard, holding back, holding down back, okay, Mai will throw me. Alright, so let's see this throw break in action. Whoop, there you go. So as you can see, when Mai attempts to throw me, I go like, no, you're lost. Don't touch me, like that. Right, and all I'm doing is just forward C, which just basically says, no, get lost. As you can see here, it puts you at a kinda far away distance, and and actually she's breaking my throws. Okay, there we go. It puts you at a kind of far away distance where your attacks won't kind of reach. Okay, now there is a reason why I said generic throws. Characters will have command throws, okay, and those command throws cannot be broken. In that case, how can you evade it? You can evade throws by jumping, okay, like so. So when throws when they're down on the ground, generally they won't work on airborne opponents. The other way you can avoid a throw is by not being in the range in the first place. Okay, so there's two ways. You can jump forward, doesn't matter where, jump up, jump forward, hop up, hop forward, super jump, whatever. And the other way is just by not being there in the first place. But as you can see, doing a backdash when you're in the corner, well, doesn't exactly give you distance. Okay, so enough about throws. I'll cover more at the end. Now you've learned how to be on the offensive. Okay, now you don't have to just take attacks and eat combos like that. You may have noticed that some moves are, you kind of question why in the world they exist. It's like, why would I ever use these? So, or why would I ever use Air A? Like seriously, Air A, I can't even hit mine. Look at this. I'm doing hops. I'm trying my best to hit her, and nothing's happening. I'm just like, I'm waiting for the last moment to hit, and nope, still nothing. Alright, so first let's go through all these attacks first. So crouching A, crouching C, standing A, B, C, and D. Okay, so let us go through. Okay, so now I'm going to teach you how to play defensively. Okay, so first off, why would I ever use crouching C? Okay, so just as if you do a crouching guard, your opponent can opt to either go in, perform a throw, or jump in and do an overhead attack. So instead of just blocking, you can actually opt to use something that works very well against airborne opponents. Now, why does this attack work well against airborne opponents? As you see, Sylvie just actually punches up forward and actually punches past her head. So this actually works very well when you're on the ground and your opponent's in the air, because you're attacking upwards, right? Like so, bam. So if your opponent ever decides to jump in, and let's say the jumping attack had pretty crappy range, like that or something, then you'd want to take a gamble and choose an anti-air attack to go against. You can also choose to use something like standing A, far C, because whilst these moves aren't as great as Sylvie, first of all, they aren't that bad either. I mean, compared to like B or D just hits like around waist height. B is about the same-ish. So you wouldn't use those against airborne opponents, but A, it kind of hits her shoulder, which is relatively high compared to body. C is just has longer range, so if they misjudge the jump, then you can bam, use that, or just flat out use D. Okay. Now, I will note that in KoF, you can't actually block in the air. There are two types of guards. They are standing guard and crouching guard. I did not say there was an air guard because you can't guard in the air. So you can actually take it. So anti-airs take advantage of this fact. That's why they work. Now for this useless move, this final useless move, what are we going to do here? So just as you may jump in to attack your opponent, or you may jump in and do a throw, okay, your opponent may think it's like, oh, it might be bad for me to stay on the ground. I should do a jump and commence my attack there. Now there are two possible things that will occur. Either you will be above the opponent, in which case, so you both are in the air, and it's like, oh, for some reason, don't know what, you're both in the air and you are above the opponent. In that case, you want to do something that hits down forward. So in Sylvie's case, like we covered, it's just basically the same as doing overhead attacks. You want something that hits down forward, which is Sylvie's Air B or Air D. But what if they're jumping in and you just jump later? Or you jumped first and now you are falling first and they're still in the air. In which case they're high in the air. In that case, these jump in attacks, which are really great jumping attacks, aren't going to be much use because they are above you. This is where the Air A and Air C shines. So this is a great air to air. So this hits down forward. Against an opponent that's in front of you in the air, it's not going to work. But in those situations, this is where Air A and Air C comes in handy. So now you have all these tools that you can use. You can use offensively and defensively. And these are only normals. I am not talking about special moves like these. Okay? I'm not talking about these. I'm not talking about supers. Okay? Nothing like that. Okay? I'm only talking about bare normals. So you can actually discover all of this. You can actually do all this with other characters. Okay? All characters will have their own, like, anti-air, normal attacks, low attacks, good jump-ins, good air-to-air, stuff like that. These are all things you can discover with your own character. I mean, like I said, all characters have a generic throw that they can do. So all of this is accessible, and it's not hard. So it's not that hard to just grab a character and go, okay, I'm gonna learn him or her, and I'm gonna do a basic combo, even if that combo is just basically doing a rush combo. Now, I haven't exactly covered these attacks because I think they're really self-explanatory. I mean, so if you go back to the movement part, if you're this far away, your moves aren't going to hit. If you are this far away, your moves will. Okay, so I'm just saying it again in case you guys forget. So let's say Maya was doing something stupid like this. Okay, I don't know why you would ever do that, but you can actually stay out of range and just do like something like this, bam, and it'll hit. Because it's simply a matter of, okay, who can hit further, and in Sylvie's case, her D hits relatively far away. I mean, it hits further than her sweeping attack, which is crouch D. Oh, so like that. Sometimes you may trade. So hopefully this has cleared up a lot of things. So mainly, I hope that the number one thing that it cleared up is that when you get hit, it's because there are flaws to guard it, and I mean it's made that way. So if somebody does a guard, you can open them up in two ways. You can either aim for the weak point. Okay, so standing guard, that weak point is low attacks. For crouching guards, that weak point is overhead attacks. And if you can't be bothered with both of them, you can just go and just do a throw, like really close, and that carries risk. Now, if you're on the defense and the opponent jumps in, you can do an anti-air. If your opponent rushes in, say like to rush in and do a throw, which is bad for you, you can actually opt to use something like a close attack. Okay, close attacks are relatively quick. You want something that's guaranteed to be fast. Actually, it's kind of weird because a close heavy is faster than a light attack. Okay, so a close heavy is faster than a close light attack, but when at a distance, light attacks are faster than heavy attacks. I mean, obviously they have shorter range, but they hit harder and they hit longer generally. Am I missing something? Okay. One last thing about throws. So as I said before, some characters have command throws. Now throws also have like various versions, and just like moves, there are anti-air throws. Okay, so this was an anti-air which is good against an airborne opponent. There are anti-air throws, which means they have to be done from the ground and the opponent has to be in the air. There are also air-to-air throws, and in fact that's only just called air throws. So if you and your opponent are in the air and you're close enough, you can perform air throw. So those throws like that cannot be broken. Only generic throws on the ground can be broken. So that's something to keep in mind. Mai is actually one of those characters with an air throw. So if you look at Mai's move list, where is it? Here we go. Okay, so you can see that there's normal throws, which has their own names: Shiranui Gorin and Fusa Kuzushi. And then she has the Yume Zakura, which is an in-air only. So Yume Zakura, you can see the symbol. What it means is close by in the air, which you can see on the right. So on the right side contains the legend, and you can see that symbol means close by in the air. And yeah, so that throw cannot be broken. Command throws cannot be broken. Anti-airs cannot be broken. Only generic ground throws on the floor can be broken.